Okay, I'll begin.
Yep.
Well, my name is Alex Primo. I'm speaking from Brazil. The name of our presentation is the organization reinvented by its blogs. Okay, there is a delay here.
Okay, you can just keep talking. We can hear you absolutely fine.
Well, let's go to slide number 2. I'm sorry, there is a delay here, some seconds. So I suppose just hear a silence. Well, in our paper, we ask how interactions in organizational blogs can participate in the emergence of the organization itself. Our theoretical background here is about social media definitions, the uses of organizational blogs, the Montreal School and the Actor Network theory, and their ontological perspective on the social and on organizations. And then we argue that the term participatory media is even more precise than social media because of the problems that the term social media may bring because of an interpretation misleading about what the social is. So in slide number 2, we show that blogs are considered to be the earliest and most popular form of social media. And but the problem is that when you say that Twitter or Facebook is social media or blogs or social media, it means that because the media is social, then such and such process will happen. So this essentialist perspective is what we try to criticize here. In slide number 4, we report that we are using the actor network theory. I suppose most of you, or many of you, are familiar with this theory, and Latour's criticism of what he calls the sociology of the social, which, in his words, confuses the explanation with what they want to explain. So we try to show that blogs are not just intermediaries, just a medium that works as a bridge to transmit pure signals or pure information, but blogs were actually actors, or in Ant's vocabulary, an actant that really makes a difference in the ongoing associations. Now I go to slide number 5, and as we can see, normally organizational blogs are considered to highlight the potential of blogs to influence publics, to humanize the organization, to trespass distances imposed by official communication, to manage reputation and crisis, and to enable knowledge management processes. In slide number 6, we argue that blogs are participatory media because it's a media that not just enables people to participate, but also it's an actant which participates itself. And so blogs allow different people to interact through text, from employees to the public at large in our organizational context. And blogs affordances not just enable the publishing of text and conversations, but also constrain communication. And blogs also may, through algorithms or APIs, may create and bring automatic information such as tweets, for example, or weather information, etc. Slide number 7, I start to discuss blog matrix that I have developed and which will be published in the Discourse and Communication journal from Sage, now in May. In slide number 8, you may see the matrix, and it's a little difficult to explain in such a short time, but I'll try. In this matrix, you can see that I use 4 dimensions to classify blog genres. In the top, you'll see that blogs are classified according to the number of bloggers, so they may be individual or collective. To your right-hand side, you see that blog posts may vary from simple reports and objective posts to reflective posts with in-depth discussions. In the lower part of the matrix, you see that posts may vary from everyday interactions to formalized interactions. And if you compare the lower part with the top part of the matrix, you'll see that those top black tabs, they say that an individual blog may be professional or personal, depending if they bring formalized interactions or everyday interactions. And collective blogs may be group or organizational blogs. varying from formalized interactions to everyday interactions. In the left-hand side, you see that the posts may vary. The focus of the post may be towards the inside. That means the blogger is talking about himself, his own matters, or their professional issues, or the focus may be to the outside, discussing other matters. So you see that crisscrossing all these dimensions, you find 16 genres, and I'll talk about the genres 13, 14, 15, and 16, which are the organizational blog genres. If you go now to slide number 9, you see that I bring some definitions about the 4 organizational blog genres. I will have to skip this because of the limitation of time, but in the next half, Gabriela and I will talk about four blogs that will illustrate these 4 genres, and I hope it becomes clear, even though the time is short. Well, to analyze these organizational blogs, we use the ontological premises of the Montreal School of organizations. Typically, organizations, as you see, are treated as stable, objective entities with clear boundaries, structures, and identities. And the Montreal School is together with more recent perspectives that try to study organizations through a discursive perspective and to discuss the discursive construction of the organizations. Tigger and Avery, the main names, the main authors from the Montreal School, they say that the organization emerges from text-conversation dynamics. So this is what I'm going to try to talk about, because blogs bring the text, of course, in the posts, and conversations in the comments sections. Slide number 11. The Montreal School says that the basis for organization as conversation is interaction. And we think that since blogs register textual interactions, they can be actants in this sense, as they actively participate in associations that shape the organization. And the Montreal School argues that the basis of organization as text is symbolic description. And according to Taylor and Avery, it's together, conversation and text form a self-organizing loop. The text, which register the voice, the different voices from organizations, they inspire and influence conversations, which recursively will inspire new texts, and so this loop, this recursive loop, participates in the emergence of the organization itself. Well, in slide 12, we then ask how the textualization conversation dynamics take place in the 4 organizational blog genres that I discussed previously. Gabriela and I then will selected 4 blogs to illustrate the 4 organizational blog genres. On slide 13, you see that the Merit on the Move is an example of what I call the organizational self-reflective blog. This blog is maintained by Bill Marriott, which is the executive chairman of Marriott International. And he uses the blog to reflect about his career running Marriott and about the company itself. So it's a self-reflective blog because it's a blog where the company discusses its own issues. In slide number 14, we use the Twitter blog as an example of the organizational internal informative blog. This blog is used to post news and information about the company's products and releases. And the content is mostly informative and about the company itself, and it doesn't bring much reflections. It's more objective focus. Slide number 15, you see that we use Nature's, the famous scientific journal. They have many blogs, and one of these is called News Blog. It's an example of the organizational informative blog. It's an informative blog because it's about the field of expertise of Nature, but it's not about the organization itself. It's about breaking news of the world of science. Slide number 16 is our last example of the 4th genre of organizational blogs, which is the organizational reflective blog. This blog maintained by the Manpower Group, it's called the Employment Blog. It's a blog from that discusses employment laws. It brings in-depth discussions, reflections on employment laws, and it's aimed at discussing a topic related to the field of the organization, not about the organization itself. So this is the difference between this blog and the Merit on the Move, which is a self-reflective blog, which is different. So we conclude that in addition to their potential for promotion and relationship with the public, blogs must be acknowledged as co-creators of the organization. As we say in the title of this paper, the organization, because it's not a staple or a given, it's something that must be created and recreated, thus invented and reinvented all the time, not just by the internal public, but by all the publics. And the blogs are not just a medium that transmits information, that registers information, but also participates actively as an actant, as a mediator in the creation and recreation of the organization. So this is why we like the Rainbow's definition of participatory media, because it's twofold. The media allows us to participate, and the media is a participant itself. So blogs need to be recognized as actants in the network, which actively engage in the collective and continuous invention of the organization. Well, I'm sorry if I talked too fast. I was very worried to present in 11 minutes in my second language. I hope you could understand, even though the topics are complex. And Gabriela and I, she's here beside me, we will, if we have time, we can answer some questions.
Thank you very much, Alex. What we'll do, just because of the delay on the line, is we'll do questions by Twitter. I know you've been in the hashtag. So would it be okay if you go on to the hashtag in Twitter and people tweet any questions to you and you can respond?
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and do that so that way everything can be more real time and people can use links, etc. Thank you very much for your presentation. We really enjoyed it. Maybe you heard me. Well, thank you very much, Alex.